Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. You ready to uncover the secrets of real attractiveness? I mean, the kind that goes way deeper than just, looks.
We're talking about a kind of magnetism that really draws people in. It's about cultivating a presence that makes you stand out.
Exactly. It's about becoming the most magnetic version of yourself. And today we're exploring this idea through the lens of Stoicism.
Yeah, Stoicism. It's this ancient philosophy that's surprisingly relevant today, and it offers some powerful insights into how to become more attractive.
And our guide for this deep dive is an article called How to Be More Attractive, El Camino del Estoico, which translates to the Stoic Path.
Yeah, and the Stoic Path makes this pretty bold claim. It says that attractiveness isn't about chasing trends or trying to fit in.
Right. It's not about conforming to some external standard of beauty. It's about something much deeper.
Yeah, it's about cultivating certain qualities that make you stand out.
It's about that inner confidence and strength that just draws people to you.
Okay, so the article starts by emphasizing the power of our thoughts.
Okay, so like our mindset.
Exactly, our mindset. It argues that self-doubt is like this, it's like a poison that can really seep into our demeanor and make us less attractive.
So instead of battling these negative thoughts all the time, how can we shift our mindset to something more empowering? How do we use Stoicism for that?
Well, Stoicism offers this tool called amor fati.
Amor fati.
Yeah, which means love of fate. It's about embracing all of our experiences, the good and the bad, and using them as fuel for growth.
So it's like not getting bogged down by setbacks, but instead seeing them as opportunities to learn and become stronger.
Exactly. When you radiate that kind of resilience, it's so attractive because it signals that you can handle whatever life throws your way.
It's like that inner confidence becomes a superpower.
It really does. Okay, so we've talked about mindset. What about the power of silence?
Wait, really? Being quiet makes you more attractive. Isn't being a good conversationalist seen as more attractive?
Well, yeah. I mean, think about it. Have you ever been captivated by someone who just really listens intently? And when they do speak, their words have real weight.
Yeah, that definitely makes someone more intriguing. It's like they have an air of mystery and confidence.
Exactly. Thoughtful silence projects this aura of self-assuredness. You seem more interesting because you're not just trying to fill the space with empty words.
So it's not about becoming totally silent. It's about choosing our words more carefully.
Right. It's quality over quantity. And this ties into another Stoic principle, memento mori.
Memento mori. That sounds kind of intense. What's that all about?
It's a reminder of our own mortality.
Oh, wow. Okay, so how does remembering our limited time on Earth make us more attractive?
It helps us prioritize what really matters. Imagine knowing that your time is precious. Would you waste it on gossip or complaining?
Probably not. I'd want to make my words count.
Exactly. So instead of rambling, you become very intentional with your speech.
Okay, so we've got mindset and strategic silence. What's next?
Let's talk about our physical presence. Stoic attractiveness isn't about, conforming to beauty standards.
Right. It's not about having the perfect body.
Exactly. It's about cultivating a strong and resilient body and mind.
So it's more about embodying strength and vitality.
It's about treating your body with respect because it houses your mind.
I love that analogy.
Yeah.
So what are some things people can do to embody this idea of physical strength?
Well, nourish your body with healthy food. Move your body regularly, get enough sleep, and even incorporate some strength training.
So it's not about chasing a certain look. It's about feeling good in your own skin.
Exactly. It's about having the energy to pursue your goals and the resilience to bounce back from challenges.
And that inner strength shines through and it becomes really magnetic.
Yeah, and it's not just about physical strength. The article also emphasizes mental toughness.
Okay, mental toughness. How do we cultivate that?
Well, they suggest incorporating practices that push you outside your comfort zone, like cold showers.
Cold showers.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
How does that tie into attractiveness?
Think of it as training your mind to overcome discomfort. You build discipline and resilience, which ultimately translates into greater confidence.
So you're basically saying, hey, I can handle anything.
Exactly. And that mental fortitude is super attractive. It shows you don't crumble under pressure.
Okay, so we've got a strong mind, a resilient body, and we're using our words wisely. What else is there?
Emotional mastery. Have you ever seen someone lose their cool over something small?
Yeah, all the time. And it's never a good look.
Right. Emotional volatility can be a turnoff. Stoicism has this concept called apatheia.
Apatheia. What is that?
It's often misunderstood as being emotionless. But it's not about suppressing your emotions. It's about choosing how you respond to them.
So it's about creating that space between a trigger and your reaction.
Exactly. Imagine remaining calm even in a stressful situation. That composure speaks volumes.
It's like you're the eye of the storm.
Right. People are drawn to that kind of stability.
This is great. I'm taking notes. What's next?
Okay, let's talk about mystery. Have you ever been fascinated by someone who doesn't reveal everything about themselves right away?
Oh, yeah. It's like they have this air of intrigue, like there's more to discover.
Exactly. Humans are naturally curious. When someone holds back a little, it piques our interest and makes us want to know more.
It's like a magnetic pull.
Right. And the article recommends a technique called strategic silence. Instead of dominating the conversation, you become a master at listening and asking insightful questions.
So you make the other person feel heard and understood, which actually makes you more attractive.
Exactly. And it's not about playing mind games. It's about creating space for a genuine connection.
It's about trusting that our true selves are interesting enough without having to over-explain or perform.
Now, while cultivating a bit of mystery is good, the article also emphasizes the importance of building valuable skills to boost your attractiveness.
So it's not just about being mysterious. It's about having substance.
Think about it. Charisma can only take you so far. Eventually, people want to know what you bring to the table beyond just charm.
It's like, hey, I've got something to offer the world.
The article mentions the hedgehog principle.
The hedgehog principle. I've never heard of that.
It's the idea of finding your niche and becoming truly exceptional in one area.
So instead of trying to be good at everything, you focus on one thing.
Exactly. That kind of mastery makes you stand out. It shows passion and dedication.
Okay, so we're building this powerful foundation of skills and mystery. What else can we add to this mix?
This one's about shedding the need for external validation. The article contrasts people-pleasing with self-assuredness.
So it's about embracing our values even if they're not popular.
When you're always seeking approval from others, it sends a message that you don't trust your own judgment.
Which can make you seem insecure.
Exactly. Stoicism encourages us to be kind, but to stand firm in our convictions. It's about having a strong sense of self.
So it's okay to say no sometimes and have our own opinions.
Absolutely. That self-assurance is so attractive because it shows you're not easily swayed by external pressures.
It's about trusting your inner compass.
Exactly. And this ties into another Stoic practice, negative visualization.
Negative visualization. That sounds a little scary.
It's not about dwelling on negativity. It's about mentally preparing for potential challenges. Let's say you're giving a presentation. Visualize the worst that could happen and mentally prepare for it.
So you take away the power of the unknown by facing your fears head on.
Right. And when you can survive the worst case scenario, it frees you from fear. You radiate calm confidence.
That's powerful. Okay, we're feeling pretty good about ourselves now. What's next?
Let's talk about style. The article says that true style is a statement about how you value yourself.
So it's not about expensive clothes. It's about expressing who you are.
Exactly. It's about choosing clothes that make you feel confident, taking care of your grooming, and letting your personality shine through.
It's like those small details show you respect yourself.
Right. And it doesn't have to be complicated. It's about making conscious choices that reflect your best self.
I love that. Okay, so we're looking good, feeling confident. What else?
Well, the article talks about how people are drawn to those who have a sense of purpose.
It's like that spark in their eyes when they talk about something they love.
Exactly. When you have a clear purpose, it gives your life meaning and direction and inspires others.
That's contagious.
Right. And this connects to the Stoic principle of the dichotomy of control.
The dichotomy of control.
It's about focusing on what you can influence and letting go of what you can't.
So instead of worrying about things outside our control, we focus on our goals.
Exactly. That kind of focus is incredibly attractive.
It's about owning our choices. Okay,
Yeah.
we're almost done with this Stoic attractiveness deep dive. What's the final piece?
This one's about cultivating gratitude and contentment instead of neediness.
So appreciating what we have rather than chasing what we lack.
Exactly. When you radiate gratitude, it creates a sense of abundance and joy.
It's like you're a beacon of positivity.
Right. And when you're always focused on what you're missing, it creates a sense of lack that can be a turnoff.
It's like trying to fill a void with external validation.
The article suggests starting each day with a gratitude practice. Just list 3 things you're grateful for.
Big or small, it doesn't matter.
Right. It's about training your mind to focus on the positive.
Okay, so gratitude is key.
Another powerful practice is the Stoic journal method.
What's that?
It's about reflecting on what went well each day and what you learned.
So finding those small wins and extracting valuable lessons.
Exactly. And when you approach life with gratitude and a growth mindset, it naturally enhances your attractiveness.
Okay, so we've covered a lot.
Yeah.
We've talked about mastering our mindset, embracing amor fati, using our words wisely, cultivating strength, mastering our emotions, cultivating mystery-building skills, owning our style, having a purpose, and radiating gratitude. That's a lot to take in.
It is. But remember, you don't have to do everything at once. Start with one or two principles that resonate with you.
It's about progress, not perfection.
Exactly. And it's a journey.
Yeah.
What I find so fascinating about this Stoic approach is that it's not about manipulating others or trying to fit into some mold.
It's about becoming the best version of yourself.
Exactly. And the more you focus on these inner qualities, the more attractive you become.
It's about authenticity, integrity, and self-respect. And those are always in style.
You know, it's interesting how this Stoic approach contrasts with the messages we see in pop culture.
Totally. Like we're bombarded with images of perfect bodies and faces. It's easy to get caught up in comparisons.
And that's where Stoicism is so liberating. It reminds us that true attractiveness goes beyond appearances.
It's about being comfortable in your own skin flaws and all.
Exactly. And embracing those imperfections as part of what makes you unique.
It's about owning your story and sharing it with confidence.
It makes me think of that quote by Epictetus. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters.
That's so true. It's about mastering our emotions and choosing our responses.
Right. And I think that's what makes someone truly attractive, that ability to navigate life with grace and inner peace.
It's about being the kind of person you want to be around. Grounded, confident, positive.
And it's an ongoing journey. There will be days when we feel more confident than others. The key is to keep practicing these principles.
It's about showing up as our best selves.
Exactly. You know, another thing I find interesting is that this approach isn't about trying to attract specific people.
It's about becoming the kind of person who attracts the right people.
It's about aligning your inner world with your outer world.
It's about letting go of the need for external validation.
Exactly. And when you can do that, the right people will come into your life.
So as we wrap up this deep dive on Stoic attractiveness, what's one key takeaway you want our listeners to remember?
True attractiveness is an inside job. It's about cultivating inner strength and a sense of purpose that radiates outwards. While there are steps we can take to enhance our attractiveness, it's ultimately about becoming the best version of ourselves and trusting that the right people will be drawn to our authentic light.
I love that. It's about embracing our imperfections, owning our stories, and showing up with confidence and authenticity.
That's so well said. I mean, it sounds like this whole Stoic approach to attractiveness is less about, tricks and techniques and more about like a fundamental shift in how we view ourselves in the world.
Exactly. It's about aligning your inner world with your outer world. When you cultivate those core Stoic principles, that inner strength and authenticity, it just naturally radiates outward.
It's like this self-fulfilling prophecy. The more you work on becoming the best version of yourself, the more you attract good things into your life.
It's so fascinating how this ancient philosophy offers such a refreshing perspective on a topic that's often so superficial. Like, think about it for a second. We're constantly bombarded with messages like, buy this product, to be more attractive or follow these trends to fit in. Stoicism completely rejects all of that.
It's a total paradigm shift. Instead of chasing external validation, you're cultivating inner strength.
And instead of trying to force yourself into a mold, you embrace your authentic self. And I think that's a really powerful message, because when you're truly comfortable in your own skin, you radiate self-acceptance and inner peace. And that's incredibly magnetic.
You become a beacon of light, drawing people in with your warmth and confidence.
Okay, so speaking of confidence, I know you talked about how you used to struggle with self-doubt and people-pleasing. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, there was a time when I was constantly seeking validation from others. And it was exhausting. I was always trying to be what I thought other people wanted me to be.
I think we've all been there at some point. So what changed? How did you break free from that cycle?
Well, it was a gradual process for sure, but Stoicism played a huge role. I started practicing those principles we've been talking about, focusing on what I could control, embracing challenges, setting boundaries.
And what happened? Did you notice a shift in how people perceived you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It felt like this enormous weight had been lifted. I was more confident, more authentic. And that confidence started attracting the right people into my life. People who appreciated me for who I was, not who I was pretending to be.
That's so inspiring. It's like real-world proof that this Stoic approach actually works.
Yeah.
It's not just some abstract philosophy.
It's a roadmap for a better life.
Yeah.
And, it's not about becoming some emotionless robot. It's about choosing how you respond to those emotions.
So you're saying it's okay to feel things like anger or sadness, but we don't let those emotions control us.
We acknowledge them, we learn from them, but we don't let them hijack our inner peace.
It reminds me of that story about Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher who was a slave. Despite all the hardships he faced, he cultivated such a strong inner resilience that he eventually gained his freedom and became a respected teacher.
That's a perfect example of how Stoicism can help us navigate tough times. And that inner strength is attractive no matter what our circumstances are.
It's like that saying, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. But in this case, it's not just about surviving, it's about thriving.
And that's where amor fati comes back in, embracing everything life throws at you and using it as fuel for growth.
Instead of resisting challenges, we see them as opportunities to learn and become more resilient.
Right. And that resilience shows up in everything we do, our relationships, our work, our overall presence.
So as we wrap up this part of our deep dive, what's one final thought you want to leave our listeners with?
Don't underestimate the power of small, consistent actions. You don't have to change your whole life overnight. Just pick one or two of these Stoic principles and start incorporating them into your day.
Like maybe a gratitude practice or making an effort to listen more than you speak.
Exactly. Those small steps can lead to huge transformations. And remember, this is a journey, not a destination. So be patient with yourself, celebrate your progress, and trust that the more you align with these principles, the more that magnetic, authentic attractiveness will just naturally shine through.
Yeah, it's really encouraging to hear how these practices can create real change in our lives. It's not just about, looking good. It's about becoming more confident and resilient and just, living a better life.
Absolutely. And one of the best things is that it's available to everyone. You don't need anything special to start, incorporating these principles.
It's like we all have this toolkit for building inner strength. So for our listeners who are ready to, embark on their own Stoic journey, what's like a practical tool they can use today?
Well, one of the simplest but most powerful things you can do is cultivate a daily gratitude ritual. Take a few minutes each morning to think about 3 things you're grateful for.
So like shifting our focus from what we're missing to what we already have.
Exactly. When you start your day with gratitude, it sets the tone for everything else. You approach challenges with more optimism, and that's attractive.
It's like priming yourself for happiness.
Yeah.
And speaking of attracting positive experiences, I think that's a perfect place to wrap up our Stoic attractiveness deep dive.
It really is. As we've been talking, I've realized that Stoicism isn't just about attracting romantic partners or social connections.
It's about attracting good things into all areas of your life.
Yeah, becoming the kind of person who just naturally draws in opportunities, abundance, joy.
It's about radiating warmth and confidence and that deep sense of inner peace.
So to our listeners, I want to leave you with this thought. What's one Stoic principle or practice that really stood out to you today? And how can you start using it to become the most magnetic and attractive version of yourself?
It's a journey worth taking. Thanks for joining us on the deep dive.